Hello everyone, this video is going to be a bit different. It's going to be how you can make a spreadsheet like this which tracks US stocks and UK stocks, adds them up. It's got loads of little funky extras as well, graphs, PSR, which is basically how many shares you drip each period. But I'm just going to go through how you can do this. You don't have to have all of this, obviously. This is quite an advanced. We've got graphs and everything on here, but I'm going to go through most of this stuff on this. It's going to be a very, very long video, and bear with me because it's unscripted and I'm not scripting a 2-hour video to show you how to make a spreadsheet. So we'll just start off. Things I'm using at the top here, we've got ticker, company name, number of shares, share price, price change. These three you don't need unless you want graphs. Current PE, industry, you don't need portfolio allocation if you don't want. Annual dividend, dividend yield, you don't need that if you don't want. Market value, you will need these two, and these two are just little extras you can add on if you want. But you can just follow along and make a full top row if you want. We're going to start off with a US and a UK company. So one thing to bear in mind if you're doing tickers for UK stocks, you need to put LUN in front of the thing and then write it in like that. That's because it needs to pull information from UK stocks, and it will try pull from US stocks if you don't do that. If you want an image in the cell like I've got here, you can just copy the image address of a photo on the internet. Image in cell, paste the URL in, and you're golden. So let's just say we got 10 shares of Apple and we've got 50 shares of AstraZeneca. That should do. Next thing you're going to want to do to bring the share price, you're going to want to equals Google Finance like that, and then you're going to want to go to the ticker symbol. So here it would be A2, and you can see it's lit up there, and then we can just go comma and then price in speech marks like that, and then that should bring the price. Right, now there is one thing that looks a bit off here. If we look up the actual AstraZeneca share price, right, we can see that it's 8,925p, and it's not actually all those in dollars. So let's put it into pounds to start with. And then what we're going to do is we're going to divide it by 100, because obviously UK stocks are in pence and we don't want that, we want it in pounds. So if we just divide it by 100 on the end there, that'll bring the correct share price. Next thing, we're going to do the same for Apple. You can just drag this down and it will do it for you. But I'm going to take the divided by 100 out, because obviously that was correct. That was correct. We're going to format it, and we're going to go dollars. There we go, just so it looks like it's dollars. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the price change. So you just want to do the same thing again, equals Google Finance, and then we're going to go to the ticker again, space, and then we're going to go change, and then we'll do that. And because this one's a UK one, we're going to do divided by 100. So there we go, and it's brought it for us. On the Apple one, we're going to do the same thing, but obviously because it's US, we don't want to be dividing by 100, so we'll just get rid of that. There we go. These ones I'm going to come back to later, because they're not actually necessary currently. I'm just going to put them over there for now so we can see everything. The PE is the same sort of thing, equals Google Finance. This is all the easy stuff at the minute. We're going to go PE, and that should bring it for us. There we go, and we'll just drag that down. Don't need to divide this one by 100. Next thing we're going to do, I've just put the industries in. You just literally write them in. We're going to skip the portfolio allocation. We're going to go straight to the dividends. So Apple's dividend is 82 cents, and that's every quarter, so we times that by 4. AstraZeneca's is let me just do equals sum. This is how you're going to do it, and theirs is 153p, and then they have 2 payments, and then we're going to divide that by 100. So let's just make that into pounds because we don't want it in dollars. There we go. So they're the annual dividends. The next thing we can do is we can do the market value. So the market value is going to be the share price, which is, let's just go here, it's going to be the share price, which is in D2. Oh wait, I need to do equals sum. D2, and then it's going to be times the number of shares, which is going to be in C2. So that should return the market value, and that looks about right, 4,000. Right, and then we're going to do the same thing down here, which, and then there we go, that's some of the Apple ones. So then we're going to do the annual return. So we're going to do the annual dividend, which is equals sum, and then it's going to be I2, and then we're going to times that by the number of shares. So we'll go on, we'll do a C2. So that's our annual dividend or annual return, whatever you want to call it. Same thing for Apple here. So now I'm gonna show you how you can total your stocks up. So say if this is our these two are our stocks, our UK stocks, we can go down here and let's just put equals sum, and then we're gonna go K2 because that's where it's at. But if you want to add all like quite a few of them up, you can do, I'm just going to add them both together for now, but you can do K2 and then just let's say K5, and that will do all of those for you. But obviously we don't want to be adding them together, but that's just how you do multiple and add them all together. For now we're just going to want K2, if I can actually get this to work, K2, and we're just going to do to K3 because obviously we're going to add those together at the minute. So that's a total of our UK stocks, and for the US we're going to do the same thing. So let's just put total UK. For this we're going to put total US. So we're going to take the US stocks and we're going to go equals sum, and let's go, so it's K4, and then let's say we go down here to like K7 or something. That's where your other stocks would be. And now this is your dollars. So what you need to do is you need to get this total US into pounds so you can add them both together. So I'm just going to put another column that says total here. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get this, and you're going to want to have another column that says pounds for it. So let me just move this down one. So I've just made another column that says US in pounds. So this is the total US but in pounds. So let me just change that to pounds. The calculation for this is take the total US and you're going to times it by Google Finance, and then just copy that currency USD to GBP, and then that's there. So what we can do now is just do sum and do K7, I believe it is, no, K8, and then we can plus, right, and then it's K10. So that will give us our total in pounds. So that's how you do the totals. Quite complicated, I know, but the exact same thing goes for the annual returns. So if we do the same thing on this side, so it would be, now we'll do the same thing for the other side. So this will equal sum of, oh, I've just realised this isn't in pounds. It will be to that, from that to that. L2 to L3. But we're just going to change these to pounds. Hang on. There we go. So that's the total returns. Obviously, you would have stocks in these bits, but this is obviously just for sure. So then we're going to do the same thing for the US, which would be equal sum and then we can have L4, there we go, and that would go, so let's just say L6. So there we go, we've got our total US and our total UK dividends here. Now we're going to do the same thing, but for this side. So we're just going to take, it's really tough to get rid of this for some reason, I don't know why it doesn't let you. So there we go, now we've got this in pounds, and now we can add our total dividends up by doing the exact same thing as this side. So it'll be equals sum, and it'd be L10, would it? Oh no, L8. I can't fucking write. L8, and then plus L10. There we go, and that's our total in pounds for dividends. Next thing I'm going to do is the graphs. So I'm just going to bring these columns that I've put over here and bring them back in. We will get to the other stuff soon, but I'm just going to put these, let's just say, in there. Now, if you want to do, you don't have to have all three of these, of course. If you want to do the last 365 days, it's going to be this very long string of code here. So you're going to have to plug this in yourself. So we've got A2, and there's a few places where it says A2. You can see there's 3, and the minus bit is just how many days you want it to go back on the graph. So obviously, if we're doing a year, we're going to do that, and that's going to bring AstraZeneca's prices up for us. We can do the same thing and just go straight down here. That one obviously ain't got anything in it, so we'll get rid of that. But to do the same things for these ones, we just need to go in here, and instead of we'd do last 30 days, and here as well, last 30, and I believe that's it. So there we go, that's the last 30 days. And just drag this down, and we can do the same thing for 5 years. I totally forgot how there we go, that's how many days there is in 5 years. So we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to put this down here just temporarily. Copy, put this in here, but we're going to get this, and we're going to go further back. There we go, and this should bring the 5 years. For some reason, Google Finance is not working doing this for the past few days, but it does work. Google Finance is a bit stupid like that. It doesn't really. Sometimes it just glitches out and don't pull any information at all. But we'll just get rid of this column because there's no real need. But you know, that's how you do the graphs. You can just go back as many days as you want. Dividend yield's pretty simple. Just put the annual dividend divided by the share price. Pretty simple. Put a percentage point on it as well, which you can do up here. And there you go, that's that. We're just going to do the same with this one. There we go. Now we've got it for that one as well. That's very simple. Very simple stuff. Okay, so when you want to calculate the portfolio allocation, obviously you need the market value of your US stocks in pounds, or you won't be able to calculate correctly. So what I do is, because I like having my US stocks in dollars when I'm looking at them, I'll just take all my US stocks and put their market values and just change them to pounds somewhere else where I can't see it. So ideally I'd have this like all the way down the bottom. Yeah, those graphs are still there because I just copied the template. So you this can be off the screen, you don't really need it anyway, but if you drag down, it would continue the pattern. So obviously it's going to carry on going down and continue the pattern, but obviously we only have one stock, so it doesn't really matter. Now we're actually calculating it. We're going to want to go equals sum, and we're going to find that, which I believe is M15. There we go, and we're just going to divide it by M11, which is the actual total, and we have our percentage. For the UK stocks, you can just take the value from here, so that would be sum M1, or no, it'll be M2 on some. I can't type M2, and then that will be divided by M11. And there we go, that's our allocation for AstraZeneca. So all US stocks need to be calculated into pounds before you do this, because it would be inaccurate if not. If you want to add graphs, you can just select what you want in the graph, you know, chart, and there you go, it's just going to give you the information. It's a bit fiddly to play about with, but you can eventually get what you want. Quickly just show you market cap. Market cap's pretty simple. It's just Google Finance to the ticker again and market cap. You can change this how you want. Oh, that's gone in there. Oh no, I've just been playing about with this because it's so annoying. Right, there we go. You can make this to less decimal points, or oh, come on, work with me. Right, well, you can make them to less decimal points like mine, where I've got it in billions. But that's going to be everything. I'm not going to cover PSR in this video just because it's not really essential, and some people can get really sidetracked looking at that instead of actually looking at the fundamentals. So this is pretty much how you make the graph, though. You can add as many companies as you want. It'll start looking like this. You can color it. You can add your graphs. It's just pretty much the basics of making the sheet. But I hope this has helped some people. It's been a bit different to my other videos, but I hope you've enjoyed it. I'll see you next time on the normal videos.